Hey everyone, welcome back. This is my review of the Sunday Without God anime series, episode 7, entitled Gola Academy 1. Alright, so this episode basically starts out with this weird scene with a Ferris wheel, which was kind of random and out of place and did not belong there. Could have been used for a scene that was actually meaningful for this to the series. All right, and then meeting a new character named Alice Color in a dungeon-like area of some sort. We then cut to where Julius asks if she would like to attend school. There are no more elementary schools left, we learn, and this is the last middle school. Soon it will be gone as well, which means that I won't have any more chances to go to school after that. When Julius gets out of the van to look around, I is abducted by some people. An old woman states it's people from Gola Academy, which gets Julius very worried for some reason. Once in the van, he speeds off chasing the car. Then we get another weird scene with on her first day actually attending Gola Academy. The person who enrolls her is a very strict and bitchy teacher, but does seem to make two friends at school pretty quickly. However, we don't get any names yet about who these two characters are. Tells them about the enrolling process. She was kidnapped from her van, then came to the school. The strict teacher enrolled her and gave her a uniform, and then she had to introduce herself to the class, and also met that boy, Alias Color, that I mentioned earlier. The two girls she's talking to try to convince her that Yuri, who she brings up in the conversation as a traveler that's with her, sold her out to the school, and that it's a very bad school, and that once they get captured and enrolled, they can never leave. Once the teacher from earlier walks into the room, however, she confirms that what they were saying is true. She tells the girls to take their baths, which they do. They head to the bath shower area to get undressed, and they all take a bath together, much to Ai's dismay. Ai then tells the girls that she's from a village of the dead and that she's half gravekeeper and half human. They then reveal that the reason she was probably captured was because all the students here have special abilities. Volrath Fahren, the turquoise-haired girl, has excessive destructive abilities. Mimieta Gedenberg and Memepo Gedenberg, twin sisters claiming that they're actually not twins, have multiple personalities due to their other sister, Momo Gedenberg, who died and was later buried by a gravekeeper but remains alive within them. Basically, they touch each other and come really close together in order for Momo to speak and whatnot. Then they're the blonde-haired ones. Run, the blue-haired girl, is able to breathe underwater. And finally, Tanya Swedgewood, the pink-haired girl, despite being blind by nature, she has an ability known as Review-Goran. Sounds an awful lot like Rinnegan from Naruto, but it's a completely different type of ability, so never mind. Which allows her to hear the sounds of to hear sounds from faraway things and places, and even see shape and color. Seeing shape and color is basically how she's able to interact with people and move around safely and whatnot. After the explanations are finished, the wall to the bathhouse is destroyed, and in pops three guys. Alias Color, the red-haired guy I met from earlier. Haley, a fat boy who is also Volrath's boyfriend. And Gigi Totoi, a small blonde-haired boy. Although he appears to be 12, he states that he's actually 22 because he's been in hibernation for 10 years. The boys claim it was just an honest accident, but of course the women are reluctant to believe them. They then explain that they were actually digging a route underground in an attempt to escape from this institution. That's where Haley's power comes in handy, which is the ability to eat any inorganic material and use it as nourishment. The other two dig, and he ate. When Alias questions why he when Alias is questioned why he transferred here last week if he doesn't like it, he responds that he was forced to. Then I blurts out and asks why the school keeps doing this. The answer she gets is that ever since people stopped dying, people also stopped being born. Because of that, the number of students has steadily declined over the years, so they fear they won't be able to leave now, even after they become adults. Alias then introduces to the rest of them a ghost girl by the name of DNC Stratmitos, who floats to them through the walls. Instead of being called a witch, she prefers to be called a Western witch because she oftentimes helps people out and grants their wishes, whether by talking to them and giving them advice directly or secretly controlling their body without them noticing it. She then states she's arrived because of I, which confuses her. She claims that she secretly whispered to I go to the clock tower during recess, although I claims she chose to go of her own free will. Dee says she's been watching I ever since she arrived at Ortus on Alice's orders, but Alice isn't able to explain exactly why yet. Dee then says the three of them meeting was fated to happen, and that's where this episode ends. Okay, so quite a bit happened in this episode going into this new story arc, and so of course there was quite a bit to talk about. Probably my only major problem, though, was the beginning scene with the Ferris wheel, because it served no purpose whatsoever except to just be there, and that's not a good thing. They could have easily used that, I don't know, a whole minute or maybe even more, doing something instructive with the episode rather than just nothing, you know. So I don't see what the fucking point of that was. Other than that, though, it's pretty interesting, the setup they've got here for this current story arc, which now we know is going to last at least 3 episodes, kind of similar to the Ortus arc, but I'm not sure if it's going to last any more than that or not. But so yeah, pretty much that's it. They've got an interesting new lineup of characters here once again, and each one of them having a special power. And they didn't say this directly, but obviously we know that what I has special about her is that she's half gravekeeper, or is that even though she's half human, she's also half gravekeeper. Oh, half-breeds are so rare, and I'm not sure if I's the only one or not, but even if she's not, they are so fucking rare that, you know, obviously they'd want her because she's definitely a special case. Alright, and although they didn't say that directly to her, that basically that's what we're being led on to believe now, is that that's why I's here. Alright, I find it kind of unrealistic, though, that I is able to make friends with people so quickly. I mean, come on. Well, then again, considering they're trapped there, I guess people are willing to make friends with almost anyone who transfers in if they're willing to, but still. You know, also, just as kind of a side note, I guess, I find it kind of odd that frickin' that, what the fuck's her name? Hold on a sec. Volrath is dating Harley. I mean, they're so different. I mean, frickin' Volrath is a tiny girl, and despite having insane strength, and Harley is fucking gigantic. Yeah, I guess she likes him big. Who knows? But anyways, though, overall, though, I think I'm just gonna wrap up this review right here. You know, overall, it was a solid episode, a pretty good start to this new story arc. The only major complaint I had, as I said before, was that worthless fucking Ferris wheel scene from the beginning of the episode. So yeah, anyways, overall, hope you enjoyed this review, guys. See you after, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.